Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmadyasya yato Anvayaditaratascha Artheshu Abhigyaswarat Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaye Muhyanti Yatsurayah Tejo Vari Mridam Yatha Vinimayo Yatra Trisargo Mrisha Dhamna Swena Sada Nirasta Kuhakam Satyam Param Dhimahi Nigamakalpataror Galitam Phalam Shukamukad Amrita Drava Sanyutam Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam Muhuraho Rasika Bhuvi Bhavukaha. We now enter the 27th chapter of the 10th Skandha of Srimad Bhagavatam. We are still in the middle of the Govardhan Leela. We are going to end this Govardhan Leela with this chapter. So we saw how Indra poured torrential rain and Krishna protected by holding up Govardhan for 1 week, and Indra's pride was curbed. And now we continue. Shuka Brahmam says, when Govardhan was held up for 1 week and thereby Vraja was protected from torrential rain, Indra finally came down and sought Krishna's lotus feet, and he brought along with him Surabhi, the celestial cow. So, because Krishna is always fond of cows, Indra thought, having done something so stupid by trying to hurt the cowherd men and women of Vrija who are under the protection of Krishna, and thereby realizing his folly, now he wanted to please Krishna. So he brought the cow Surabhi with him and he sought the presence of Krishna. It says, Govardhane dhrite shaila asarad rakshite vraje golokat avrajat krishnam surabhi shakra evacha. So from Goloka he brought Surabhi, and with Surabhi he went to the presence of Krishna, and full of shame for having shown disrespect to the Lord, he approached Krishna in a very secluded private place and touched his lotus feet with his crown. And he put the crown on the ground. So this is how he offered his respects and his prayer, by taking the crown off his head, placing it at the feet of Krishna, and then touching his head on the feet of Krishna in a secluded place. So Krishna offered him a place very private so that he can offer his prayers without being seen by anyone else. And so Indra, now having witnessed the great glory of Krishna, he spoke with joined palms, offering a prayer. It says, Drashta Shruta Anubhavasya Krishnasya Amita Tejasaha Nashta Trilokesha Mada Indra Aha Kritanjalihi. So Drashta Shruta Anubhavasya means he has seen, he has heard, and now he has actually experienced the unlimited potencies of Krishna. Krishnasya Amita Tejasaha. Therefore, he lost the pride that he was the ruler of the three worlds. Nashta Trilokesha Mada, the pride that he is head of the three worlds, he thought, and now he was free of that pride. He lost that pride by this act of grace by Krishna, and therefore he spoke with his joined palms and he offered a beautiful prayer. He says, first, O Krishna, your essential character, your essential nature is pure sattva, and it is untouched by rajas and tamas. It is full of wisdom. It is always peaceful. And therefore this phenomenal universe of Maya is not even perceived by you in actuality. He says, Vishuddha Sattvam Tavadhama Shantam Tapomayam Dvasta Rajas Tamaskam Maya Mayoyam Gunasampravaho Na Vidyate Te Agrahanu Bandha. So Vishuddha Sattva means pure Sattva, pure goodness. Normal goodness is also a material mode of nature, wherein one acts in pious ways, but still there is a sense of ego around it. This is the quality of those who engage in charity or engage in virtuous acts, which are still better than acting out of passion or ignorance, and yet even that has a taint of ego. But Vishuddha Sattva means that is pure goodness, free of any material contamination. So he says here, Indra says, your nature, Tava Dhama, your abode, your nature. Dhamma has many meanings. It means your abode, your nature, your character. In whichever way we see it, he says it is completely free of all material modes of nature. It is Shantam, it is ever peaceful, it is Tapomayam, it is full of wisdom and purity. And therefore, Maya Mayoyam Gunasampravaho, this world of three modes of nature, is in actuality not even perceived by you, and yet out of your grace you come down. You have no material qualities. He says qualities such as greed and envy, which is the reason why people get identified with the body and take rebirth. These are not at all present in pure goodness that you are, and yet out of compassion you take this body and you wield the rod of punishment for protecting the good and for punishing the wicked. So this is what Krishna says in the Gita too, where he says paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Krishna says, to protect the saintly and to punish the wicked, I descend in every yuga, in every era, for the upholding of dharma. So that is what Indra also says here, that even though from your absolute standpoint you are unaffected by anything and there is no material quality whatsoever in you, out of compassion to uphold dharma you descend. And then he says, you are therefore the father, the guru, the supreme ruler of all the worlds. You are time itself that brings everything to end, and you carry on the sport of various forms at your own will in order to curb the pride of people like me who fancy themselves to be rulers. Indra says, Pita Gurustvam Jagatam Adhisho Duratyah Kalo Upata Dandaha. Pita means you are the father, Guru, you are the teacher, Jagatam Adhisho, you are the true ruler of this universe. Duratyah Kala Upata Dandaha means time that is completely unconquerable and which punishes everyone is you. So Krishna also says in the Gita, Kalosmi aham lokakshayakrit. I am time that destroys everything. Krishna reveals when he shows his cosmic form Vishwarupa. So that's exactly how Indra glorifies here. And we can see thereby how every time there is a prayer or a teaching in Bhagavatam, it is expanding upon Bhagavad Gita. So here Indra says, you are the father, you are the guru, you are the lord of the universe, and you are time itself that punishes everyone, destroys everyone, and thereby he says it curbs everyone's pride. In addition, you also take various forms, avatars, by which you protect dharma and curb the pride of people like me. And he says further, fools like me who regard themselves as rulers, thereby their pride is removed by you, and we are made to thereby take the path of devotion. So this is the purpose of Krishna's activities. So we see how Krishna's punishment is also out of compassion and love, so that the one who is punished may be free of pride and take to surrender loving devotion. So that's why Indra says, fools like me are punished so that we can take to loving devotion. Therefore he says, O Lord, please forgive me. I was immersed in the pride of wealth and power and ignorant of your true greatness, and therefore please forgive me and ordain that my mind may not be disposed in this manner again ever after. So that is his prayer. He says, please do not make me ever forget this wisdom, and do not make me ever get caught in pride as I was before when I committed this transgression. Then he says, your descent on earth is purely out of compassion. You are beyond all sense perception, and you descend in order to exterminate all the leaders of great armies who are caught in pride and who are therefore not only a burden to them, to earth themselves, but who bring forth many others who are also burden. He says nicely, Tava avataro ayam adhokshaja iha swayam bharanam urubhara janmanam chamupatinam abhavaya deva bhavaya yushma charananuvartina. So it's a nice verse. He first says, your avatar, your descent, O adhokshaja. Adhokshaja means one who is beyond sense perception. The one who is beyond sense perception that you are, your avatar, your descent is to destroy those leaders of armies, rulers who are caught in pride. Chamupatina means those who are leaders of armies and who are both themselves a burden to earth and who bring forth others who are burdened. So because of their pride, they build this army and make the army also evil. So there is a lot of people, which creates a huge burden for earth. So all of them are destroyed by you. And then Yushmat Charananuvartinam Bhavaya. Those who are surrendered to you, they are protected. So that is the purpose of your avatar, to remove the burden on earth of these proud, arrogant rulers, and to protect those who are surrendered unto you. Therefore, he says, salutations unto you, O Lord, O Vasudeva, O protector of all devotees. He says, Namastubhyam Bhagavate Purushaya Mahatmane Vasudevaya Krishnaya Sattvatam Pataye Namaha. O Vasudeva, O Krishna, O protector of all devotees, I offer my obeisance unto you. He further says, your very form is according to the wish of the devotees. You are a pure embodiment of consciousness itself, and you are the cause of all and the soul of all. He says, Swachandopata Dehaya Vishuddha Jnana Murtaye Sarvasmai Sarvabijaya Sarvabhutatmane Namaha. Again, a very nice prayer. Sarvabijaya means seed of all. Sarvabhutatmane, the self of all. Vishuddha Jnana Murtaye means pure form of consciousness. So he says, you are the purest form of consciousness, who is the seed of all, self of all. I offer my prayer to you, obeisance to you. I did this stupid mischief to try to destroy Vraja by sending rain and winds because of pride and rage. Now my pride has been crushed. All my efforts have been foiled. And in this way, you have actually bestowed your grace. Therefore, you are my ruler, my guru, my teacher, myself. He says beautifully to conclude his prayer, Ishwaram Gurum Atmanam Tvam Aham Sharanam Gataha. He says, you are my Ishwara, you are my Lord, you are my Guru, my teacher, you are my Atma, my very self, Tvam Aham Sharanam Gataha. I surrender unto you. So these three expressions he uses are very particularly important, because these three aspects are the ways in which the Lord manifests Ishvara, Guru and Atma. There is even a famous verse that says, Ishvaro Gurur Atmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine. So the Lord is in three forms. As the supreme ruler, Ishvara, he descends as Guru, the teacher, and he is Atma, the spirit. So here, that's why Indra says, Ishwaram Gurum Atmanam Tvam Aham Sharanam Gataha. So thus being glorified by Indra, Krishna smiled and spoke to him with a voice like the rumbling of clouds. So Krishna is a young boy, but he reveals his supreme nature, because this is a secluded place, as we saw. Indra is offering worship in a secluded place. So Krishna reveals his original form, and he speaks in his original voice as the rumbling of clouds, not as a young boy. And he says, it's in order to shower my grace and to make you fully devoted to me, to keep you constantly engaged in me, that I did what I did, so that your pride, your intoxication of pride is removed. You are blinded with power of wealth and pride of wealth, that is pride of power and wealth. And because of that, you didn't take notice of me, and that is why I had to wield the rod of punishment. He says, Mam Aishwarya Shri Madandho Dandapanim na Pashyati. So Dandapani is a beautiful word again Krishna uses to refer to himself. Dandapani means one who carries the rod of punishment. So Krishna says, I have the rod of punishment in my hand only for those who are blinded by the pride of power and wealth. When they are blinded by the power of power and wealth, by the pride of power and wealth, then the only way they are brought down to realizing their true nature and to surrender and to not be caught in such pride is through punishment. So this punishment is itself grace, and that's what I bestowed upon you. Now you can go, you follow my injunctions and be devoted to me and engage in your duty free of any sense of ego. So in this way, Krishna blessed Indra. Then Surabhi was next to Indra, as we saw. Surabhi, the celestial cow. She also prays to Krishna, and she says, O Krishna, the great yogi, the self of the universe, the one who makes the whole universe manifest, please bestow your blessings upon us too. She says, Krishna Krishna Mahayogin, Vishwatman Vishwasambhava, Bhavata Lokanathena Sanatha Vayam Achyuta. So she says, O Achyuta, O immortal Lord, O Vishwatman, self of the universe, Vishwasambhava, the source of the universe, Mahayogi, the greatest yogi of all, please bestow your favor upon us. You are our supreme deity, and you are always there to protect the cows, the brahmanas, and the wise beings of the universe. And therefore, as instructed by Brahma, we want to crown you as the ruler formally of the universe. So, Surabhi just wants to do a small ceremony, having come down to earth, to declare that Krishna is in fact the ruler of Lord of the universe. So she says, Brahma has instructed me to perform a small ceremony in order to formally declare that you are the supreme Lord who protects all cows, and therefore you shall be called Govinda. So Govinda is a beautiful name of Krishna, which means one who protects the cows. And so this name Surabhi calls him now, and she offers this worship by bathing him with her own milk. So she is full of celestial milk. So she bathes Krishna, does Abhishekam with this milk. And then, urged by Aditi, the mother of Indra, Indra also participates in this worship. He makes Airavata, the elephant, bring the celestial Ganga water. So then Krishna is bathed with the waters of Ganga as well, and he is formally designated as Govinda. It says, Govinda iti cha abhyadat. So he was called Govinda formally. He's always known as Govinda, but here it was formally declared that he is Govinda, the protector of all cows. And of course, all the celestial beings such as Gandharvas and Vidyadharas all celebrated. Narada himself came and he glorified, everybody glorified Krishna. All the divine beings were all with great joy, and it is said that after this beautiful ceremony, the cows were even more overflowing with milk, all the rivers were overflowing, the trees were full of honey, the farmlands were full of crops, the whole of earth is so prosperous, all the mountains are having gems, and thereby the whole world, the whole of earth was flourishing, fertile, and prosperous, and people were free of enmity, and thereby everyone was happy that Govinda is crowned as the ruler of cows and ruler of the whole universe. It concludes by saying, Iti go Gokulapatim Govindam Abhishityasah Anugnato Yayav Shakro Vrito Devadibir Divam. So it says that after consecrating Krishna as Govinda, everybody was happy, and then Indra and Surabhi went back to heaven. With this, 27th chapter ends, and then we enter the 28th chapter, which is a short chapter about how Krishna rescues his father Nanda. So Nanda, once after all this happened, he enters the river Kalindi in the dark of the night. So Ekadashi is the 11th day of the fortnight, and after Ekadashi, the next morning, one is supposed to take a bath in the river if there is a river nearby and break the fast. So it is said that one has to break the fast at the appropriate time, and then only take the that is, one has to take a bath at the appropriate time and then break the fast. But also there is a separate injunction that one cannot take a bath in a river when it's still dark. One has to wait till dawn break. But it so turned out that on that particular Dwadashi, that is the day after Ekadashi, the daybreak did not come when Dwadashi came, and therefore he had to take a dip when it was still dark. It says, Ekadashyam niraharak sambhyarchya janartanam snatum nandastu kalindya dwadashyam jalam avishad. So he entered Kalindi, the river Yamuna, niraharha, without eating anything, fasting, worshipping Janardana, the Supreme Lord, to take snana in the river on Dwadashi. But because technically he is not supposed to take bath at the time of the night, which was still not dawn yet, one of the servants, it is said, of the deity of water, Varuna, so demon servant. So Varuna, the deity of water, has many servants. Some of them are proper in their service, but some of them are demoniac, because only a demoniac servant would take Nanda away. So it is said that because Nanda did this, so of course Nanda was perfectly fine in what he did, having followed the injunction of taking a dip before breaking the fast, and also he is at the supreme position of being the father of Krishna and serving Krishna all the time as his father. So the deity of water, Varuna, only has to offer obeisance to Nanda, but this foolish demon servant, it is said, took Nanda away from there to the presence of Varuna. So, seeing Nanda having vanished, all the cowherds complained to Krishna. They said, "O Krishna, O Rama, we cannot find Nanda here." So, immediately Krishna perceived what has happened, that Nanda has been taken to the realm of the deity of water, Varuna. So, therefore, Krishna immediately manifested himself at the door of Varuna, the deity of water. And Varuna, of course, having seen Krishna, was immensely pleased. He said, "My life has been fulfilled now." So, this is all a pastime again. In a way, even though the demon servant, what he did was wrong, it was for the benediction of Varuna to give him this darshan and to also reveal to Nanda himself finally the truth of who Krishna is. So, for all this, everything happens for a reason in Krishna's pastimes. So, Varuna now, first of all, glorifies Krishna. He says, "My life has been fulfilled, my purpose has been served. By worshipping your feet, my very existence has been fructified." And therefore, he says, "Hail to you, O Lord, the Supreme Spirit, the one who brings forth all the three worlds. I offer my obeisance to you." He says, "Namastubhyam Bhagavate Brahmane Paramatmane Nayatra Shruyate Maya Loka Srishti Vikalpana." So, therefore, he says, "I'm so blessed to be able to get your darshan and offer my worship to you. Of course, your father here was brought by this foolish servant of me. He was wrong in doing so. But I am glad that because of this I got your darshan. Be pleased to shower your grace on me. Forgive me for whatever this transgression is. Bestow your grace and please take your father back." He says, "Mama api anugraham Krishna kartum arhasi aseshadrik govinda niyatamesha pitame pitate pitruvatsala." So you are always fond of your parents, and therefore I know that you will take him back immediately. Please bless me before you take him back." So Krishna, of course, is perfectly happy to bless Varuna, and then he, after accepting the prayers of Varuna, Krishna takes his father Nanda back to Vraja. So, seeing this, Nanda is astonished. So far, as we saw, Nanda had only hints from Garga that he is like Narayana, he is a manifestation of Narayana, and so on. But now, for the first time, Nanda directly experiences that not only is he taken to the realm of Varuna, Krishna comes there and Varuna offers his prayer and falls at his lotus feet, glorifies Krishna, and Krishna instantly brings him back. So, seeing all this, now Nanda knows that this is not like Narayana, he is Narayana, and therefore he is so happy that his son is the Supreme Lord who has taken an avatar, and therefore he tells it also to all the cowherds now. As we recall, in the last episode, the cowherds asked Nanda, they said, "This boy is no ordinary boy, right from killing Putana as a young baby to now lifting Govardhan for a week. He is doing extraordinary things, and not only that, our love for him is unexplainable. So, who is he?" And he replied at the time what Garga had told him, that he is like Narayana, a very mysterious child. But now he reveals to all those cowherd men that indeed I have seen with my own eyes that this is the Supreme Lord himself. So now, having known this, all of them think in their heart, would the Supreme Lord who has descended here, will he give us the darshan of the transcendent state of the Lord? So they are all there in Vraja. They are, of course, having direct darshan of the Lord every single day, but they also know that there is the pure state of Brahman, the pure consciousness, and there is also the eternal abode of the Lord called Vaikuntha. So they wonder if we can also behold the pure state of consciousness and also the eternal abode of Vaikuntha. So Krishna, of course, being in the hearts of all, he perceives their prayer. He knows exactly what they are thinking. So it says here, "Iti swanam sa bhagavan vijnaya akila drik swayam." So akila drik means he sees everything and therefore he knows exactly what they are thinking in their heart. So therefore, Krishna thinks to himself, see, people are revolving through various lives, high and low, human and animal and so on, in different cycles because of being caught in desire, because of caught in identification, because of ignorance, and therefore they are not able to realize their essential character. But these cowherd men are so innocent and they are so devoted, and therefore they shall be bestowed this grace right now. So reflecting thus, Krishna, the highly merciful Sri Hari, he revealed to them both that they were desiring. He revealed to them the transcendent state of Brahman and the eternal abode of Vaikuntha. It is said here, Bhagavan Mahakaruniko Harihi Darshayamasa Lokam Swam Gopanam Tamasaf Param Satyam Jnanam Anantam Yad Brahmajoti Sanatanam Yaddi Pashyanti Munayo Gunapayo Samahitaha. It's a very beautiful verse. It says here, Mahakaruniko Harihi, the supremely compassionate Lord Hari, Darshayamasa, gave them the darshan of two things. First, he gave them Satyam Jnanam Anantam Yad Brahma Jyoti Sanatanam. It's a perfect description of the supreme state of consciousness. It is Satyam, it is the eternal truth. Jnanam, it is the abode of pure wisdom. Anantam, it is infinite. And it is Sanatanam, it is eternal. So this Brahma Jyoti, this eternal Brahman, the light of Brahman, the light of pure consciousness, that is the eternal truth, eternal wisdom, eternal consciousness, and eternal bliss, this was revealed to them as an instant experience called Brahmanubhuti. So it says here, all the great sages who engage in great meditation, all the great yogis and sages who engage in great meditation to get a glimpse of this pure state of beingness, this glimpse was given to them instantly to all these cowherd men. And after that, Krishna also gave them the vision of Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha is the crystallized vision of Brahman in the form of the Lord as Narayana with all his paraphernalia, and the abode of Vaikuntha with all its opulence. So that vision is the same vision later we will see Akrura will also get. Subsequently, when Akrura comes to Vrindavan to bring Krishna to Mathura, Akrura will be given the same darshan when he dips in the water while going to Mathura. So that exact vision is what is given to all these cowherd men. So they were given both the experience of pure Brahman and the vision of Vaikuntha. And with this, Nanda and all the cowherds were supremely happy. They were ecstatic and they glorified Krishna as the living embodiment of all the four Vedas. And they were so amazed that it is the Supreme Lord who is there in their presence. So finally, we see how the cowherds who always treat Krishna as their beloved, as their friend, as their son, as their child, and so on, now they've got this wonderful vision of him as the Supreme Lord, and they glorify him, and they've got the highest vision as well. And with this chapter ends. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.